YardRock, it's your girl Jatali. You know that we always have to change up the style. We bring you the best in reggae. And currently, right now, we have a nice surprise from Morgan Heritage. Yes, the one and only Gramps. So definitely keep it locked. Welcome back, YardRock. I hope you enjoyed that last video. So I told you earlier that we're going to be here with Gramps. So, you know, those of us who know him from Morgan Heritage. So I'm about to ask him to introduce himself. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, you heard that. Tell us more about yourself and your role that you play in Morgan Heritage.
Well, in Morgan Heritage, I'm the one of the vocalists and keyboard player. There are two keyboard players, which is myself and Yuna, which is the only female in Morgan Heritage.
Yes.
And myself, I'm Gramps Morgan, keyboard player and vocalist of Morgan Heritage. Now working on solo projects as well as the rest of my brothers and sisters. We are in the studio and working on different projects.
I know about your father, but how exactly did you guys think of the name Morgan Heritage?
Well, my father came to us and said, what do you think about these couple names? And he bounced around a couple names. And the name derives from our surname, which is Morgan. My father's name is Denry Morgan.
Yes.
So it's the heritage of Morgan, of the Morgan family. And there's certain things that's been placed upon us, even ancestrally, that, you know, it's the heritage of my family, not represented musically.
Gramps.
Yes.
Where did that name come from?
It came from my auntie, being born in Brooklyn Hospital. My auntie come in, Auntie Gracie, my father's sister, she come in and said, Lord, God, it look like Grandpa, man. And from that day it was Grandpa until, you know, my friends just come home in the afternoon and play basketball, and then them turned Grandpa into Gramps. So it became more hip. So Gramps came from Auntie Gracie.
I have an Auntie Gracie too.
We all Jamaicans have a Gracie.
Gracie, right? You guys, Morgan Heritage, grew up in a musical family, grew up in a studio with your father, and being around that, how is it to be part of that?
And there's a special chemistry, like even playing musically, especially playing live on stage, that there's a natural chemistry and there's a comfort zone there, because you're playing music with somebody that you've known your whole life. You know what I mean? So it's a great blessing, and it's a great chemistry. As
a sibling, you know, I know that siblings always have, you know, rivalry and arguments. How does that work, being on the road all the time with your family?
Well, I always tell people that the most rivalry happens is when there's 1 and 2 bathroom and there's 30 of us to share. Someone say, yo, come on to the bathroom and Peter, you know, you not, come on. So, you know, we don't really get that kind of argument vibe. We never raised like that. They teach us to share, and that the younger one must respect the older one. So when you develop these principles in raising a family, find you have less problems. When you find that sibling rivalry is when you find parents don't instill that principle in the children from young. I know that currently you're working on your own personal projects. Yes. So would you like to tell us about that? Yes. Currently I'm in the studio completing my album, which is called Two Sides of My Heart, which is going to be a double CD release. It's going to be a double album, and it's, you know, it speaks about the conscious love side, you know, and then there's another side where you're going to hear a DJ and do you may hear a jazz song, but there's different sides of music. And people are going to get, through these projects, people are going to get a chance to realize and see the different ends that make up Morgan Heritage. You know, for a long time, people are like, who is Peter? Who is Gramps? Which one is you? There are 2 girls in the group, because sometimes people think Luke's kind of feels so small and cute. They feel like him is a woman, but he's not a woman. That's Luke's. And his solo project, he's, you know, opened up a management company and a booking agent where he's booking artists, and one of his first artists that he's working with is Luton Fire. You know, to all of the fans, many people out there say, oh, the group mash up. Morgan Heritage is not broken up. This is our family. We're just working on some projects and keeping ourselves challenged and having fun at the music, because like Michael Jordan said, when you stop having fun in what you're doing, then it's time to walk away. We are not going to wait to reach that point. We're just going to find creative way to have fun. So I mean, going back to your album, I know that you're currently releasing a song with India Arie. Yes, it's on her album, her album called Testimony, Volume 2, Love and Politics. I was at a club in Atlanta one day, and some people say, yo, you want to meet India Arie? And I said, sure. She's a great influence on me as a vocalist as well. I said I would love to meet her, and I went on. Long story short, I see the crowd part, and she yelled my name and said, "Good son." I said, I don't know my name. And then she said she know my voice from, not works of Morgan Heritage. She had heard of Morgan Heritage, but never was into her music, never really got into it. And she told me that she heard my voice man singing the 23rd Psalms of Buju Banton, the song I did.
Oh wow, I remember that, yes.
Yeah, and she said, I want you on my next album. I'm saying, you serious? And then she, at the time, I said that, it'll be perfect because I'm working on some solo projects as well, so that would be a nice little fun thing to step out on. And she called me one day, we was on tour behind Mission in Progress, which was the most recent Morgan Heritage album. And I seen my phone ring and she was in there. I said, what? She called me for Joe. And then she said, let's go. You ready? You ready, boy? Let's go.
I don't know if you ever Google yourself, but if you Google Morgan Heritage, one thing that in the UK, in Japan, everywhere, they call you guys the royal family.
Yeah.
And the only other person I've ever heard that considered about is the Marley family.
Yes.
And between the Morgans and the Marley family, you guys are the royal family.
Yeah.
So you carry the load of Jamaica on your back. How does that feel?
It's a blessed feeling. We and the Marleys have a beautiful and a special relationship. Many people don't know because some things, the connection between us when we had moved to Jamaica from Brooklyn, it was an instant connection because their father was an artist, our father was an artist, them are Rasta, we are Rasta. The Marley family is the first reggae family. Of reggae music. They're the first family. And during the course of time when we started to make it a journey, they started to call us the royal family because, I don't know, maybe it was because of the amount of people. My father had 30 children, and then it just, people just kept on saying until it just stuck, and then just called it the royal family.
One thing I have to say, a connection I always felt between, Bob Marley and the Wailers, and including now yourself, what they did with Bob Marley, they started doing mixes with people like, Cheek Ricky Ty, and he came out with the song Weed, and he came out all these songs with the fuse of what's going on now and what was going on then, and he brought it together. And Morgan Heritage tends to do that, even with his songs like How Come and these songs, you tie that in. How do you do that fusion? Is it hard?
Well, it's naturally who Morgan Heritage is as different. There's many reggae bands are out there. A lot of our influences came from R&B and rock, and even a little bit of gospel later on when we started to develop musically. So, it's not, we're not just a reggae band, we're influenced by, it's like a melting pot of music, but our base, we're a reggae band. But, we've toured with the likes of, bands like Good Charlotte, Newfound Glory, Rancid, and these, which are acid punk bands.
Seriously?
So, which just influenced us being born in America. Like, Steel Pulse were born in England, most of them, and they were influenced by, punk bands in the States, in the UK. But we were born in America, so you find that the American music influenced us. So it's part of our song. So here's the songs like Tell Me How Come and Best Friend, it's a storytelling. And then, Tell Me How Come's a story about Jamaica, what people were saying, tell me how come, well, I'll go out this. So we just became the voice of the people on that record. And, we talk about Shakira Dad Jail. It wasn't what we were saying, it was what was being said in the street.
In the streets.
When Sizzla get locked up at East Fest, it was what people were saying in the street. So it's just a testimony of what was going on in Jamaica. Even looking at a certain amount of success or looking at the music business, Morgan Heritage is to do God's work. And if you notice that it is still even hasn't attained certain pop success, and if it never happens, we're comfortable with that because we are here to do and carry a musical mission through the voice of God to help people and strengthen people. So that is the mission of Morgan Heritage. Now, when you come to Peter and Gramps Morgan and Una, those things can be a whole another level. Can go to the sky's the limit. But Morgan Heritage belongs to the Most High Child.
Of your fans who want to know how to get in contact with you, Gramps, give us the lowdown.
I'm on everything. I'm just not on Twitter yet. I'm just trying to do some Twitter on the tag.
Yeah.
But they can find me on Facebook.
Facebook? Okay, we'll stop right there, Facebook. Yeah. I sent you a request like God knows how long ago. I didn't get accepted yet. What's going on with that?
I think you gotta check it back tonight.
I'm gonna check it tonight, alright. Remember,
we always accept everyone.
Alright, good.
Accept everyone. And myspace.com/Gramps Music. Just how it's spelled, one word. And if you Google me, you put in Google, everything will come up. And from my website, you can it'll direct you to the MySpace page or the Facebook.
My boy just said, if you Google me, you see that's how big. He said, Google me, baby.
Yeah.
If you Google him, you're gonna find him. That's so cool, you know.
Yeah.
Seriously. So is there any other way, like if people want to work with you or
yeah, all of that is on all those. There's
that?
links on there where
Definitely.
you just click on contact, and there's way if you want dub plate, if you want a radio jingle, all of that stuff is there. Because we made it really industry oriented that people. A lot of times say, man, want let's go to grampsmagan.com.